The Case of the Disappearing Seals. Written by Barbara Moore. Illustrated by David Cox. Chapter 1. The Island. At last, the school vacations had arrived. Jessica and Leo, her brother, were going to stay with their grandfather for 2 whole weeks. Grandfather lived on an island close to the coast. He was a marine biologist. He worked long hours studying the plants and animals on the island. The children were very excited. Jessica asked Lily Ying, a friend from school, to come with them. Jessica and Leo's parents drove them to the town nearest to the island. Then they all caught the car ferry across the sea to the island. Grandfather was waiting for them on the porch of his home. "Welcome, welcome," he said. "It's so good to have you here." "Good to meet you too, Lily. Sometimes, it is a bit lonely on the island. But I do have my best mate, Max, with me." Max was a brown and white dog with big, moist eyes. Max barked and jumped on and off the porch excitedly. He wagged his tail so hard that it almost fell off. Jessica's parents left to catch the next car ferry back home. "Have a great time," they called as the children waved goodbye. "Right. Time to show you your rooms." "Then we must have dinner," said Grandfather, who loved to cook. Chapter 2. The Seals. Grandfather made a delicious dinner of spare ribs, fish, salad and sizzling, hot chips. Then Jessica, Leo and Lily helped him to wash the dishes. Grandfather told them about his early life on the island. His own father had taken him for long walks around the island. Grandfather loved taking photos of the different plants and animals. He wrote detailed notes about them in his journals. He studied science at university so he could be a marine biologist. He told them about all the animals that lived in and near the sea. There was a colony of seals that lived on the rocks by the sea, not far from Grandfather's house. "Seals, we must see the seals," said Jessica excitedly. "Oh yes," said Lily and Leo. "Would you like to see them tomorrow?" asked Grandfather. "But you know, I'm worried about something," said Grandfather. "Every week, I walk to the cliff to check the seals. When I first started doing this, there were lots of seals slipping, sliding, and sunbathing. But now each week, there are fewer seals." "Fewer seals?" said Jessica. "They seem to be slowly disappearing and I have no idea what is happening to them." "If only I knew where they were and why they are missing," said Grandfather. "Anyway, time for bed, you guys. Sleep well and I'll see you tomorrow, at the crack of dawn." Jessica stayed awake for a while. She was too excited to sleep. She kept thinking of everything Grandfather had said. She wondered if maybe she could help. Finally, she went to sleep. In her dreams she saw slippery, slithering seals swimming far away and her grandfather calling to them. Chapter 3. The Mystery. The next day, after a delicious breakfast, Grandfather took them to see his favorite places on the island. He put a picnic lunch into the backpack. There were sandwiches, cake and a thermos full of hot tea. Max came too. "Soon you will be able to see the sea," said Grandfather. He walked briskly. The children had trouble keeping up with him. Finally, they reached a flat grassed area. Jessica stopped in amazement. They were at the top of a high cliff overlooking the sea. "We are 500 meters above sea level," said Grandfather. "Above what?" asked Leo, coming to a halt just on the edge of the cliff. Careful, Leo. Don't stand too close to the edge, said Grandfather. The children obeyed. They stood a little further back, entranced by the stunning view across the water. Grandfather was excited too. He showed them the line where the sky meets the sea at the horizon. The sky curved above them like a giant, blue dome. There were many different kinds of puffy, white clouds in the sky. Then Grandfather said, "Let me show you some of the animals." At first, the children found it difficult to see the animals because they blended in so well with their surroundings. Grandfather showed them how to use the binoculars to see things close up. They each had a turn. Grandfather pointed out the different varieties of birds. There were seagulls, sea eagles, and pelicans. Lily also found some tiny otters. She gave the binoculars to Jessica and Leo so they could see the otters. The children watched the seals playing in the water. Some were flipping over and gliding into the sea. Other seals sat on the rocks. Glistening seals, sitting in the sun. Noisy seals, barking and singing. The children were spellbound. "Grandfather, can we go closer to have a better look?" asked Jessica. "Yes, follow me. There's another place further down." Now, Jessica could see what the seals really looked like. Their shape, graceful beauty, and playfulness astonished her. Most of all, she loved their little faces, especially their eyes with big, long lashes. The seals were not afraid of Jessica, Lily, and Leo. They did not mind them being there at all. That night, Jessica couldn't sleep again. She was haunted by the mystery of the disappearing seals. Was someone taking the seals away? Or maybe there